You sell the house on a Tuesday, the closing happens faster than you expected, your daughter signs as witness and does not look up from the paperwork. The real estate agent shakes your hand and says congratulations, and you realize nobody in the room believes that word. You're 67 years old. Your wife died 14 months ago. The assisted living facility in Tucson quoted you $4,500 a month for a shared room with a stranger who would watch TV at volumes that could strip paint. You did the math on a napkin at a Denny's. You did the math again on your laptop at the kitchen table she used to sit across from. The numbers kept saying the same thing. $79 a day, $2,400 a month, all-inclusive, a cabin on the Victoria Majestic, circling the world without end. You board in Fort Lauderdale with one large suitcase and one small one. You unpack once, you will not unpack again. The cabin is 185 square feet, which is smaller than your first apartment in Dayton, but larger than the assisted living room in Tucson. The walls are prefabricated panels, snapped together in a shipyard and bolted to a steel hull. The mattress is firm, the porthole is round. There is a tablet mounted by the door, glowing softly. This is the OBS, the onboard system. It is how you book dinner. It is how you check your account balance. It is how you know where you are on the planet. You tap it and a blue dot pulses somewhere in the Atlantic. That blue dot is you. Now the first morning you go to the buffet at 7:15. You take scrambled eggs, toast, sliced melon, coffee. You sit by a window that shows nothing but ocean. A woman named Dolores sits across from you without asking. She is 81. She has been aboard for 3 years. You're the new one, she says. Everyone looks a little lost the first week. She tells you about the laundry schedule, the medical clinic on deck 4, the Thursday jazz trio. She tells you the crew remembers your name faster than you'd think. She tells you the vote on the Morocco stop is happening after lunch and you should attend. You have to vote, she says. Otherwise, someone else decides where you wake up. This is the strange democratic machinery of your new life. The ship visits 115 countries. It stays up to 5 days in each port. The residents vote on duration. It is governance reduced to its simplest question. How long should we remain here? There are no taxes, no zoning disputes, no school board controversies, just a show of hands or a tap on the tablet. You vote to stay 3 days in Casablanca because Dolores says the Medina is worth it, and you trust her because she is the first person who has spoken to you with warmth in weeks. But the warmth comes with weight. By the second week, Dolores needs you to help her to the dining room because her knee is bad. Gerald from cabin 421-17 needs you to explain the OBS because he cannot figure out the restaurant booking system. A couple named the Hendersons need a fourth for bridge every Wednesday and Thursday evening. A retired school teacher named Angus needs someone to walk the promenade deck with him at sunset because his doctor says he should exercise and he will not do it alone. You say yes to all of them. You say yes because you have nothing else to do, and because saying no feels like a cruelty you cannot afford. You say yes because your wife would have said yes. You say yes because saying yes is easier than sitting alone in 185 square feet with a glowing tablet and a round window, and the sound of the ocean doing what it does regardless of your presence. The sociologist Irving Goffman once described what he called total institutions, prisons, asylums, monasteries, ships, places where all aspects of life happen under one roof and one authority, where sleeping, eating, working, and leisure collapse into a single administered schedule. The residential cruise ship fits his definition with eerie precision. You eat where you sleep, you socialize where you receive medical care, the staff outnumber you, the schedule is printed and posted by the elevator every morning. The one difference that matters is that you paid to be here. You chose this. Goffman's inmates did not choose, you did, but the choosing does not change the structure. It only changes how you feel about the structure. By month 3, you have a routine so complete it frightens you. You wake at 6:45, you shower. The cabin has been cleaned while you slept. Fresh towels appear as if by magic. The bed is made by hands you rarely see. You go to breakfast, you check the OBS for the day's programming. There is a lecture on Mediterranean history at 10. There is a cooking demonstration at 11:30 that you will watch but never replicate because you will never cook again. There is a port stop in Lisbon at noon. You disembark, you walk cobblestone streets, you buy a small ceramic tile because it seems like the thing to do. You return to the ship by 4, the gangway closes behind you, the tile goes on a shelf next to a wooden camel from Morocco and a small glass bird from Murano. These objects are your proof that places exist, that you were in them, that the blue dot moved. The thinker Ivan Illich warned decades ago about what institutions do to human competence. He called it Deskilling. The more a system provides, the less its inhabitants can provide for themselves. You notice this in your own hands. You used to fix the gutters. You used to cook a decent chili. You used to drive. Now you cannot even navigate to dinner without the tablet. The ship has made every domestic task, invisible, housekeeping, laundry, cooking, medical triage, transit between continents, all handled, all outsourced. This is perhaps the most complete elimination of domestic labor available to a non-wealthy person alive today, and it is working on you the way comfort always works. It is replacing capability with dependence, one clean towel at a time. At the 6-month mark, the Discovery Channel crew arrives. They are filming a reality series aboard the Victoria Majestic. They want to follow couples. They want to follow interesting residents. Gerald volunteers immediately. Dolores refuses. A producer named Kevin approaches you at the buffet. You sold your house, he says. You came aboard alone. That's a great story. You say no, he says. Think about it. You say no again, but you think about it anyway. You think about what your story looks like from the outside. Retired widower, sells everything, lives on a ship. Is it adventure? Is it escape? Is it the rational economic response to a broken elder care system dressed in the language of freedom? You do not know. Kevin does not know either. He just knows it will get views. The midpoint arrives not as an event, but as a recognition. You're sitting on the promenade deck with Angus. It is sunset somewhere off the coast of Senegal. The light is amber and the water is flat. Angus is talking about his daughter who does not call. You're thinking about your daughter who calls every Sunday, but whose conversations have grown shorter, clipped, administrative. Are you eating well, she asks. Is the medical clinic adequate? She is managing you the way you managed your own mother. And you realize, sitting there, that the obligations you have accumulated on this ship, Dolores' knee, Gerald's tablet confusion, the Henderson's bridge game, Angus's walks are not distractions from your life. They are your life. They are the same pattern you lived on land. The same inability to say, this is what I need. The same reflexive service to everyone else's crisis. The ship did not change you. It floated the same man onto the water and gave him a round window to look out of. Marc Auger coined the term non-place for spaces of transience, airports, hotels, supermarkets, spaces without relational or historical meaning. The cruise cabin is the ultimate non-place marketed as home. You have an address cabin 3042, but no postal code, no voting district, no municipality. You exist in a legal and existential gap. International waters as permanent residents. You visit 115 countries and live in none of them. Michel Foucault called the ship the heterotopia par excellence, a floating piece of space outside all places, simultaneously real and unreal. He imagined visitors. He did not imagine residents. Years pass, you lose count of the circumnavigations. You know this because the ceramic tiles and glass birds overflow the shelf and fill a drawer. Dolores dies in her cabin on a Tuesday night somewhere in the Indian Ocean. The crew handles it with practiced efficiency. Her body is transferred at the next port. Her cabin is cleaned and reassigned within the week. You attend a small memorial in the lounge. 12 people come. The jazz trio plays something soft. Gerald weeps. You do not weep, but you feel something structural shift, like a bulkhead giving way deep below the waterline. You take over Dolores' role without meaning to. You become the one who greets new residents. You become the one who explains the OBS. The laundry schedule, the voting system, you have to vote. You tell them. Otherwise, someone else decides where you wake up. You hear yourself saying her words, and you do not know if this is tribute or surrender. Your daughter stops calling on Sundays. She switches to texts, then to emails. The messages are kind but distant. She has her own life. You're a blue dot on a screen she does not check. The philosopher Zygmunt Bauman wrote about liquid modernity, a world where stable structures dissolve, where bonds become connections, where permanence becomes flux. You're living this thesis. Literally, your home is liquid, your community rotates, your relationship to every place is 5 days. Maximum at 79, your knees go bad. The ship clinic prescribes exercises. You do them in your cabin. At 82, your heart develops a murmur. The ship doctor monitors it. At 84, you fall in the corridor outside the buffet. A steward named Marco catches you. He knows your name. He has known it for years. He walks you back to your cabin and makes sure you're settled. You tap the OBS. The blue dot is somewhere near Fiji. You look at the round window. The ocean is doing what it does. You never give the definitive performance. You never resolve the crises. You never learn to say, this is what I need. You just keep circling. The ship keeps circling. The buffet opens at 7. The towels keep appearing. The tablet keeps glowing. Somewhere, someone is voting on how long to stay in a place you will not remember leaving. You die at 86 in cabin 3042 on a Thursday morning. The crew finds you because you missed breakfast, and you never miss breakfast. Marco is the one who knocks. The ship is 2 days from Civitavecchia. Your body is transferred there. Your cabin is cleaned. Your things are boxed and shipped to your daughter, who opens the box and finds a drawer full of small ceramic tiles and glass birds from places her father visited but never lived in. She holds a blue tile from Lisbon. She does not know what to do with it. She puts it on her kitchen shelf where it sits next to the salt and pepper, a small piece of elsewhere that means everything and nothing at all. The ship sails on. The cabin is reassigned. Someone else unpacks once.